गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। आज टुडे वी आर गोना talk about the exploding fault lines in Pakistan. And as the picture suggests, there are many. And to explain to us what these are all about, let me welcome General KJ Singh. Sir, good evening and welcome to Gana Shot. We're going to talk of exploding fault lines of Pakistan today. But before that, may I compliment you? You're looking absolutely natty and well dressed, and that's great. And your smile says it all.
Thank you, Shankar. Firstly, let me wish all your viewers happy Ganpati Puja. Today is a big day in Mumbai. I happen to be there, and people are celebrating Ganpati Puja in a big way. And my daughter-in-law is a Marathi, so I went to her house. You have to be dressed traditionally. That's our country, diversity. So इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ दैट मैंने कुछ ऐसे कपड़े पहने हैं। चैनल पे आपका स्वागत है और ये मेरा ड्यूटी भी बनता है कि आप सबको ये सजेस्ट करूं कि आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए, लाइक करिए, अपने फ्रेंड्स में शेयर करिए। और आज हम कोशिश करते हैं पाकिस्तान के ऊपर थोड़ा फोकस डालने की। तो जैसा चल शंकर ने बोला, यस तो जैसा शंकर ने बोला कि आपने सुना होगा कि पाकिस्तान के एक प्रेसिडेंट थे जिनका एयरक्राफ्ट क्रैश हो गया था, जो कि जियाउल हक थे, जिन्होंने पाकिस्तान को एक बहुत खतरनाक रास्ते पे डाल दिया था। तो उस की स्टोरी को जिसने लिखा था, उसने उसको लिखा था ए केस ऑफ एक्सप्लोडिंग मैंगोज। उसमें मैंगोज की सौगात के साथ शायद बॉम्ब रखे गए थे। तो क्योंकि अमेरिकी भी चाहते थे कि इसको किसी तरीके से हटाया जाए, तो आज पाकिस्तान में जो सिचुएशन है दैट इज ऑफ एक्सप्लोडिंग फॉल्ट लाइन्स। तो in my perception, the first fault line of Pakistan is the very idea of Pakistan, जिसको कहते हैं ना मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट, वो शुरू से ही पड़ा हुआ है।
That's a nice one. That's a good one.
पाकिस्तान था क्या? 1933 में चौधरी रहमत अली ने एक जुमला बनाया, पाकिस्तान, जिसमें पंजाब, इंडस सिंध, अफगानिया, पंजाब, अफगानिया, इंडस सिंध, कश्मीर और बलूचिस्तान के तान को जोड़ लिया। तो मैं रिपीट करता हूं, पी से पंजाब, ए से अफगानिया, जो कि आज जिसको पहले बोला जाता था नॉर्थ वेस्ट फ्रंटियर प्रोविंस, फिर बोला गया खैबर पख्तूनवा, तो वो अफगानिया है। फिर है कश्मीर, जो उनका आजकल उनका कैप्चर्ड या ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर है, और उसके साथ में उसने इंडस सिंध को जोड़ा और फिर बलूचिस्तान के तान को जोड़ा। तो आप फिर सवाल पूछेंगे कि वेयर इज बांग्लादेश, बिकॉज वो भी तो ईस्ट पाकिस्तान था। तो चौधरी रहमत अली ने बोला था कि 3 मुस्लिम कंट्रीज होंगी, एक पाकिस्तान, एक बांग्लादेश, एक उस्मानिस्तान। एक जो ईस्ट पाकिस्तान बना, जो आज बांग्लादेश है, उसके चारों तरफ होगा, एक हैदराबाद के चारों तरफ होगा उस्मानिस्तान। तो उस्मानिस्तान तो बन नहीं सका और उसने फिर किसी तरीके से जोड़ के बांग्लादेश को भी जोड़ लिया ईस्ट पाकिस्तान के तौर पर, जो कि चला नहीं। लैंग्वेज की प्रॉब्लम थी, कल्चर की प्रॉब्लम थी, रिलीजन ही तो एक ग्लू नहीं है जिससे आप कंट्री को बना सकते हो। तो ये मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट आपको याद रखना चाहिए। ये पाकिस्तान में शुरू से ही है कि किसी तरीके से एक जुगाड़ सा बिठा लिया। एंड पाकिस्तान इज ऑल्सो इन इफेक्ट अ स्टोरी ऑफ clash of egos. We can blame, and we may choose not to even, go too much into it, but there were egos between Nehru, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, complex personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, who wanted to appear very secular, and then there was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So very few people know that Muhammad Ali Jinnah was terminally ill. उनको एक बहुत सीरियस लंग का डिसऑर्डर था, और ये इसीलिए मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना की डेथ भी हो गई, नेचुरल कॉजेस। उनके पारसी डॉक्टर को ये पता भी था, बट ही डिड नॉट शेयर इट इवन विद ब्रिटिशर्स। दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ इंटीग्रिटी दोज डॉक्टर्स है, मेडिकल एथिक्स। तो अब हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट से थोड़ा आगे चलते हैं। तो जब पाकिस्तान बना तो शुरू में ही देयर वाज ए डिस्क्वाइट। जो इलाका नॉर्थ वेस्ट फ्रंटियर प्रोविंस का है या खैबर पख्तूनख्वा का है, उसमें शुरू से ही खिलाफत मूवमेंट था। दे वर नॉट वेरी कंफर्टेबल विद पाकिस्तान। कश्मीर भारत से उन्होंने थोड़ा पार्ट छीन लिया। पंजाब सिंध चलो मान लेते हैं, लेकिन बलूचिस्तान तो उनके साथ नहीं था। बलूचिस्तान तो अलग ही होना चाहता था, और बलूचिस्तान के 3-4 पार्ट्स थे, मकरान, लसबेला, एक और जगह है मेरे को उसका नाम नहीं आसानी से याद आता, और कल्लत, ये 4 जगह थी। तो इन 4 जगहों में जो कल्लत था उसका स्टेटस ऐसे ही था जैसे सिक्किम और भूटान का था ब्रिटिश इंडिया में। तो कल्लत तो कभी भी पाकिस्तान में नहीं आना, और उसका जो किंग होता था, जो उसका राजा था, नवाब था, वो खान ऑफ कलत के नाम से जाना जाता। तो खान ऑफ कलत कभी भी एक्चुअली 7-8 months तक कलत वॉज इंडिपेंडेंट। दे रिफ्यूज टू ज्वाइन पाकिस्तान, बट देन मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना वॉज लॉयर ऑफ खान ऑफ कलत। He misguided him, he misled him, and he forced him to join Pakistan. तो ये मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट है। इस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट में एक और बड़ी सीरियस इशू है, वो है अबाउट द वैलिडिटी ऑफ ड्यूरेंट लाइन। ड्यूरेंट लाइन एक ऐसी लाइन है जिसको ब्रिटिशर्स ने बनाया। आपने स्टोरी सुनी होगी रेड क्लिफ लाइन की। रेड क्लिफ लाइन है इंडो पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर, जिसको एक ब्रिटिश लॉयर सिरिल रेडक्लिफ ने बनाया, जो ना कार्टोग्राफर था, ना मैप का एक्सपर्ट था, ना ज्योग्राफर था, सिर्फ एक लॉयर था। लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन का फ्रेंड था। उसको ही वॉज गिवन ए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, अ टाइम बाउंड टारगेट दैट यू बेटर डू इट फास्ट, एंड ही वॉज टोल्ड टू define the border, the western border, eastern border of Pakistan towards India. तो उसने फिर एक मोटे पेन से वो बना दिया। He took basic units of तहसील एंड ऑल, उससे उसने किया। बट उसने एक इंडिया के लिए बहुत अच्छा फेवर किया, जिसके लिए हमको नेहरू को क्रेडिट देना चाहिए कि गुरदासपुर इंडिया को दे दिया, जिससे हमारी लिंक कश्मीर से बनी रही। नहीं तो पहले लोग कश्मीर पठानकोट से नहीं जाते, वो सियालकोट से मीरपुर होके थे श्रीनगर, उधर से, या फिर वो पुंछ के रास्ते आते थे, तो जिसको रावलकोट का रास्ता कहते हैं। इसी तरीके से जो ड्यूरेंट लाइन बनाई गई, दैट इज ऑल्सो एन आर्टिफिशियल कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट। It divided tribes. It went through Mahsuds and various tribes. It cut through their areas, their territories. And actually, when Taliban's time came to rule in Afghanistan, lot of people living on this side, that time it was called Northwest Frontier Province and not Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So those people used to take their cases to Pakistan and not get them decided here because they felt that the justice being given by Taliban is better than what is given this side. पेशावर से केस कंधार लेके जाते थे. तो आप देख लो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट कि बॉर्डर ही गलत है जिसको एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करते ट्राइब्स बिकॉज उनका तो पश्तून वाली कोड दोनों तरफ लगता है. तो जो पाकिस्तान का वेस्टर्न बॉर्डर है अफगानिस्तान की तरफ दैट इज इलेजिटिमेट काइंड ऑफ बॉर्डर. मर्जर ऑफ बलूचिस्तान इज क्वेश्चनेबल. और उसके बाद पंजाब ने इतना अपने को इतना कर लिया पाकिस्तान को इन टर्म्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग दैट पीपल started developing resentment. So there have been Pashtun Tehfuz movement, which is going on Pakhtunkhwa province or Pashtun areas to get autonomy, freedom, or whatever name we will. Some even look towards Afghanistan for merger. Then there is a movement called as GA Sindh for people, Sindhis, who say we want freedom. We don't want to be dominated by Punjabis. That has somehow got control now. Abhi wo control mein hai. And then there is a movement for Baluchistan. So you are, and Kashmiris also want, Mirpuris, they are fighting for their freedom. So imagine a country where people are vying for more autonomy, more freedom. Some are looking towards the other direction. All these realities are there. So this is why I call it a manufacturing defect. A country whose provinces are not in harmony with each other. They are sub-nationalities. They have different languages. Punjabis, Sindhi, Baluchi, and Pashto. So they have their different cultures. And there is a tendency by Punjabis to dominate over others. This is one part of the challenge. अगर हम डेमोग्राफिकली और आगे जाएं तो पाकिस्तान की बहुत सारी सिटीज में पख्तून लोग जाकर बस गए. वो वर्कर्स हैं और उन्होंने अपने को अपने लिविंग एरियाज को एक घेटोस की तरह बना लिया. जैसे कि अगर कराची को देखिए तो मलीर कैंट के इलाके में जहाँ पे उनका आर्मी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है उसके चारों तरफ बहुत सारे पश्तून लोग रहते हैं, पख्तून लोग रहते हैं. उनका पर्चिंग भी हुआ. तो वो भी एक प्रॉब्लम है कि इन सिटीज देयर आर लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन विच इज डिससेटिस्फाइड. अभी पाकिस्तान से जो रिफ्यूजी आए थे पख्तून या पश्तून उनको वापस भी भेजा जा रहा है. वो भी एक टेंशन है, वो भी एक फॉल्ट लाइन है. उसके अलावा जो लोग इंडिया से गए थे वहां पर, जैसे कि जो बांग्लादेश में गए थे उनको बिहारी बोला गया. पाकिस्तान दे आर कॉल्ड मुहाजिर्स. मुहाजिर एन अब्यूज. जब मैं गया था अंगोला और मेरे को पहला पाकिस्तानी जो मिला उसने मेरे से बात की. मैंने उसको बोला हुजूर आपके मिजाज कैसे हैं, वतन से पैगाम तो आते होंगे, कुनबा तो खुशो खुर्रम होगा. तो उसने बोला आपको पंजाबी नहीं आती. मैंने कहा आती है. कहता फिर मुहाजिरों की तरह क्यों बोल रहे हो? क्योंकि मुहाजिर इंडिया से गए थे, सेंट्रल इंडिया से, वो उर्दू बोलते थे. जैसे कि पाकिस्तान के 2 आर्मी चीफ, रादर 3, जिया उल हक जो कि फ्रांस में पढ़े थे और आईएमए के ट्रेंड थे, वो एक मुहाजिर थे, वो जलंधर के रहने वाले. इसी तरीके से परवेज मुशर्रफ दिल्ली की नहर वाली हवेली के रहने वाले. इसी तरीके से मिर्जा असलम बेग जो कि आजमगढ़ के रहने वाले थे। ये तीनों वहां जाकर ये प्रूव करने में लग गए कि हम तो किंग से भी ज्यादा लॉयल हैं, एंड दे बिकेम रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर very idiotic actions. Ziaul Haq for Islamization of their army. He changed the motto. He said that this is army का aim सिर्फ physical frontiers नहीं है, ideological frontiers भी. He brought Islamization to his army and he's the biggest villain on that account. He played into the hands of America and trained all these so-called Mujahideens. Mirza Aslam Beg was responsible for stoking proxy war in Kashmir, trying to prove as a Muhajir people must be abusing him. जैसे पंजाब में वो नॉन जट सिक्स को बोलते ना तू पापा है, तो it is something like this. So they have to prove to be more mature. And similar thing been done by Pervez Musharraf. For no rhyme or reason, he tried to prove more loyal to Pakistan than. So this is the demographic, and I can go on. Even within Gilgit-Baltistan, there is a problem. The Shias, the Bahis, they are not satisfied. अगर आप पंजाब में ही देख लो तो सदर्न पंजाब में एक एरिया है, उसको बोलते हैं सराइकिस्तान, भावलपुर और इसका एरिया, वहां के लोग सराइकीज हैं, उनकी एक अलग डायलेक्ट है. They have come and settled down on Indian side also. They take out newspapers. I have seen that. I've met them. And they are dissatisfied कि सारा पानी पंजाबी अपने इरिगेशन में लगा देते. And we have to live in southern Punjab with coming desert. उनकी अपनी problem. So Pakistan is not a harmonious, well integrated state. It has multiple fault lines, which are festering, which occasionally sprout, and their approach to deal with them is very ham-handed, very disproportionate use of force. Unlike India, they use tanks, they use artillery guns, they use gunships, and they exterminate people. They have unleashed terror in Baluchistan. आप बताइए बलूचिस्तान में चाइनीज इंजीनियर के ऊपर जो अटैक किया वो एक मेडिकल ग्रेजुएट वुमन ने किया, और जो अभी रिसेंट अटैक हुआ पाकिस्तान के बेस पे उसको किया एक इंजीनियरिंग ग्रेजुएट, वो भी एक लेडी फिदाइन. तो ऐसे पढ़े लिखे लोग आसानी से तो टेररिस्ट नहीं बनते ना, वो दे आर कन्विंस्ड आइडियोलॉजिकली दे बिकम. So demographics, see, I told you, manufacturing defect, the constitution of states, their integration, the borders itself. अच्छा आप ईरान के साथ बॉर्डर देख लो पाकिस्तान का, हमारे साथ तो जो प्रॉब्लम है वो है ही. ईरान के साथ जो बॉर्डर है, इट इज टोटली अनस्टेबल. Southern Iran is a province called as Sistan, which is Sunni dominated province, and Iran is Shia. So those in consonance with Baluchis also have some kind of insurgency going on. There is exchange of missiles, firing, artillery fire between Iranian forces and Pakistani forces. It's all happened. So that's not a peaceful border either. So these are realities. Now let's go a little further. अभी हम demographics की बात कर रहे हैं, religion की बात कर रहे हैं. तो is it a monolithical Islamic state? Minorities का तो उन्होंने बुरा हाल कर ही दिया. Jews have fled from there. Sikhs are in bare few numbers and have started disintegrating their own Islamic state. एक सेगमेंट को उन्होंने अहमदिया बोल दिया, उसको नॉन इस्लामिक। एक्चुअली जो गुरदासपुर का वो जो एरिया है जो इंडिया को आया, उसमें बहुत सारे लोग कादियान सेक्ट या अहमदिया भी थे। उनका जो डेरा है वो कादियान में है, कादियां बोलते हैं उसे। एंड सो एक्चुअली इस्लाम में ना एक बड़ा मेजर फंडा है। Sunnis believe that there was nobody after Muhammad Sahib, Paigambar, and there were only those 4 people who are there, Usman, Uthman, and Abu Bakr and Ali. Those 4 Paigambars or Messiahs, they believe in, and they are called Rishidun. But Shias believe in something else. They believe there have been more sort of messengers of God, and they believe in Ayatullah concept. In same Quran, Sunni and Shias are 2 different. Pakistan is one country where Shias are treated very. India is one of the few countries where Shias are treated with respect. You see, Lucknow is Shia dominated. There is Chota Imam Bada, Bada Imam Dara, all that is there. India allows all that to happen. You see in Kashmir, there is a district called as Kuldam. It is dominated by Shia. It is allowed in it. And one MP who's got elected is Shia. So in Pakistan, there is a constant war between Sunnis and Shias. Shias are eliminated in large numbers. They are troubled, they are killed. There are violent groups which are targeting them. They say these people indulge in non-Islamic practice. They blame them. Then within Pakistan, demographically, there are different beliefs. There are Safis, there are Barelvis, there are Wahhabis, and today the Pakistan's Islam is shifting from Indo-Pakistani kind of Islam, which was called Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb, to an Arabic form of Islam. So, in earlier we used to say Khuda Hafiz. Now it is said Allah Hafiz. This is from Saudi influence. Earlier they used to say Ramzan. Now it is said Ramadan, which is again influenced by Arabic. Earlier they used to say Idul Zuha. Now they say Idul Adha. So all these are variations which are getting into forms of Islam which is overtaking Pakistan and pushing it, because a lot of people work in Saudi, they get that influence, and the bridge towards India has got broken. So it is something like this. But in this, there are sects like in Pakistan also there are Sufi mazhab, and they Gataganj, Baksh, and all, there are big mazars. Sufi influence is there. People, Pir of Pagaro, people go there. They are also politically influential. But there are also sects which have come up. There is this party Tehreek-e-Labaik Pak. Now TYLP or TYL, whatever way it is called in different methods, is a party which is trying to revive some form of some practices of Islam, and they call other people as they act as blasphemy, and then they lynch them. It has happened many times. A Sri Lankan who was working in Sialkot in a factory was lynched in a horrific manner. So they easily target anybody. They call them, their acts as blasphemous, and you plant one page of Quran and tear it, and you say it's a part diya. Something like this they do. It's very sad, unfortunate. But this party has also been earlier sheltered and used by army to create chaos against Nawaz Sharif. So now they have become a force unto themselves, and it is difficult to cap them. So I will leave the theological part over here, but it will be suffice to say Pakistan is neither demographically stable nor theologically cohesive. Even within Islam, it has multiple problems. So a manufacturing defect of constitution, borders which are not defined and discrete, demography which is unstable, and theologically, which was the raison d'etre of the birth of Pakistan, is not cohesive. तो है क्या भाई, ढूंढ क्या रहे हो? Now go further. Pakistan has societal fault lines. The society is so badly structured. There are landlords, huge big land holdings, like Zardaris, Bhuttos, like Pir of Pagaro. All these people have huge big land holdings. The other part is poor tillers, farmers, workers who have nothing to look forward. So it is a case of very few people enjoying huge big, and this class, somehow army has also got in by allotting themselves lands, and these politicians and all have milked all the thing out of it. Even when China-Pak economic corridor was being made, the contracts were taken away by the contractors aligned with armies, Fauji Foundation, Arya Foundation. Now all these foundations and bodies have been formed by army. Defense Housing Organization, Frontier Works Organization like our border roads, staffed by ex-servicemen, Special Communication Organization, which is to provide communication support, staffed by ex-servicemen, but all controlled by army. So this is also a fault line, because slowly society is becoming very disturbed about it. People are questioning, how is the army managing to do this? See, Pakistan's, I met a Pakistani senior officer in Bangkok, just on a club. We got talking. I asked him, how many houses you have? He had consumed some good liquor, so he was talking. He says, I have a house in Dubai, I have a house in London, my son has got a house in USA. And he said, how many houses have you got? I said, I have just one house and one family house. That's it. He started laughing. He says, in Pakistan, I have 3 houses, besides Dubai, London, and USA. And so much of land. He said, you wasted your time. I said, yeah, I served my country. I did not go to make my own property in army, but this is there. So this all is also bouncing back. See, our corps commander's house was attacked. Okay, there was laxity in controlling whatever it is, but on ground, people were agitated. They enjoyed looting those various things. And that once again brought out what kind of comfort these people live in. So this is a societal construct where there is a problem. There are feudals and there are people who have got nothing. Now let's go a little further. What kind of political parties it is got? You see political parties. There is this Muslim League, which is Nawaz Sharif's party. It's a party of fixers. Business people wanting to fix deals. And they They are corrupt people. I must tell you, because Sharif retired to his house in London, huge big house. How is he? Pervez Musharraf was living in Dubai. Kayani is living in Australia. All these generals, they go and live outside. So, similarly, Nawaz Sharif had a massive palace in London. And what has he done? He's put his brother as chief minister. His own daughter as now chief minister. So his brother's become the prime minister. Shahbaz. His daughter Maryam has become the chief minister of Punjab. So it's all stick in few families, and it's all getting passed like this. And people are that famous lady, I'm forgetting her name, who was the foreign minister, who still comes, who's very gracious and who makes a very good appearance.
Hina Rabbani Kar.
Now, Hina Rabbani Kar is from the famous family of Kars. They are religious, spiritual leaders. And she herself is daughter of Rabbanis. Again, another spiritual. So, there is one another person, I am again forgetting his name. He is something Dargah Nashin of Multan. He's also a minister. So he's getting income, entire income of that Dargah of Multan. Some part is flowing into his coffers. So such is the political arrangement. I'll go to the next party quickly. You take the party of Imran Khan, PTI. What party it is? It has been created by army. Now this army, there is a lot of support for Imran Khan today. But Imran Khan is not a builder. He is not a Brahma. He is not a Vishnu. He is at best a destroyer. Not like Shivji, who destroyed to recreate. He is a destroyer who doesn't know what to make. He destroyed Pakistan's relations with America, Saudi Arabia, Arab Emirates by trying to create another Islamic bloc with Iran and Turkey. Then he went to Russia, annoyed America also. He's not and he what has he done? He's done a great favor to India. He's divided the army into two parts. Today, Pakistan army has got a distinct pro-Imran lobby, and younger officers are on that side. And then there are people who are still loyal to their existing setup. This fault line will trouble Pakistan for a long time and will be to advantage of India. Thank you, Imran Khan. Grateful to you. The other party is Pakistan People's Party, which is Bhutto, Zardaris. So these parties have their own influence spheres, and they've carved it out. Like today, Punjab is ruled by Muslim League, besides the central government, which is combination of Muslim League and Bhutto's party, PPP, Pakistan People's Party. That is giving outside support. But the president Zardari is from PPP. Now you go to other provinces like Balochistan, ruled by PPP. Artificial majority, but ruled by Bhutto's party. Sindh is PPP. So southern Pakistan with Bhutto's clan, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is with Imran Khan's party. That's how the ruling thing is, this thing. Let's go a step further. How are their constitutional institutions? Start by the first institution, army. What kind of army they have? They have an army which is saying they've got the ideological frontiers. Which army takes such responsibility? How can they do that? This itself breeds a fault line, a problem. Today, army is fighting Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and others. It is forced to launch another counterinsurgency operation called as Azm-e-Ishtiqaq. Earlier, they did Raad-ul-Fasad. So what kind of army is that? And I told you about their other infamous deeds of foundation, of cornering land, living in luxury. Now go to the next institution, judiciary, highly divided. Last Chief Justice Bandial was pro Imran. The current one is anti Imran. They're all divided into various categories. They're not autonomous, they're not free. They carry their parties' leanings with them. So judiciary is in a state of flux. It doesn't know what it should do. About parliament and all, less said the better. Bureaucracy, completely ineffective. This is the constitutional fault line, institutional fault line within Pakistan. So we have looked at judiciary, we have looked at army, we have now there is also a fault line. Earlier I told you about society induced inequality or inequity. There is a problem of a fiscal fault line within Pakistan. It has spent money far beyond its capability to service its debts. So today, it is sitting on a fiscal implosion. And World Bank is not able to give it a correct bailout package. So dena chahte, de nahi pa. Problem, that is the biggest problem there today. And because it is in a circular debt, Pakistan has a serious problem of electricity. So they try to resolve it through CP. Large number of thermal projects commissioned, but all relying on dirty technology, old Chinese technology, using coal or furnace oil. But they did not change the transmission lines. Even if you generate power, you can't transmit it properly because they are crumbling. Corruption. So it is sitting on a fiscal implosion. There is a serious problem of financial management in Pakistan. And there are the states which have resources like Balochistan. Balochistan is a very unique province. It is a huge, big area with very sparse population. You take a state of Rajasthan in India, multiply it by 3 times.
Yeah, we seem to have.
That will become Balochistan. Area with population and resources galore. Sui gas field is there. Rekodir mines are there, which yield copper and gold. Makran. So all that is there, and Chinese are buying for it. So, my dear friends, if I was allowed to now sum up, because we are reaching about 41, so another 3-4 minutes I should finish and allow questions to come in, and Shankar would also give us some summarized kind of a listing of fault lines that he has got. So if I was to summarize, I would start by saying a manufacturing defect, putting unnatural nationalities together with different languages, borders which are not resolved properly, are not accepted by societies because Pashtuns don't accept Durand line. And on this side, Iran, there is a problem. Indian borders are much more stable. It's ironical, but that's how it is. Except for, say, Kashmir, some area, they're much more stable. People have learned to live with that. Then you look at the demographics, nationalities competing for their own states, Pashtunistan, Balochistan, even Mohajiristan at one time. Mohajirs wanted their this. Saraikistan, Baltis, Kashmiris. So these linguistic challenges homogeneous.
Yeah.
Ahmadiyas, Shias, Sunnis, blasphemy, all these are challenges of society, feudalistic, army cornering benefits.
Yeah, we'll wait for him to come back. So I think yeah, I think his,
Problem in terms
yeah,
of
your,
army which is looting the country. Yeah, army which is looting the country. They say some countries have an army. Here, army has a country to use with foundations. Judiciary which is not really functional. Parliament and political parties I back for you. And fiscal implosion. Tell me what else is left. और क्या चाहिए उनको? Such is the
such is the state of Pakistan. I like that, sir. But what I'll do is, I think you covered the whole lot of things in a very nice manner. Pakistan is full of fault lines, and these fault lines are not going to run away. And in fact, they'll persist. I'll add three more to it, which I firmly believe. One is their population. Their population is growing at an alarming pace. They say that by 2050, Pakistan would have hit 300 million, population, and 300 million population is like the population of USA. At this point of time, it is 250. So, and this 300 million could reach well before, because they have some of the highest birth rates in the world, and that becomes a major fault line where all other fault lines will feed in. That's my view. Water is another major fault line in Pakistan. Pakistan is a single river dependent, nation with only Indus. Take climate change into effect, and their poor irrigation system, and the fact that their dams, they have two main dams. Both these dams are Tarbela and I'm forgetting the other one. Right? Are silted. Tarbela and Mangla are fully silted. There's no water there's no water storage capacity left in Pakistan. As a result, all water from Indus flows into the sea, to the extent that much of water in Indus flows outside the banks, because over years Indus has silted. The Indus bed has risen above the neighboring areas. So that's why you see a lot of flooding in Pakistan. And of late, what has been seen is the Indus water don't reach the Arabian Sea. There's water salinity creeping up. So this is a major fault line which will remain. It is not going to recover. And the third fault line is their agriculture. You see, the agriculture in Pakistan is 20% of its economy, on which nearly 50% of the people subsist on. Till recently, till about 3-4 years back, Pakistan was a net food exporter. Today, it's a net food importer, because their agricultural output is reducing because lack of water, increasing population, all these nonsense put together. And of course, all the problems with General KJ Singh is, recounted. As a result, Pakistan is going to face food security for years to come. And we saw that when climate change hit them and they were flooding last year, people were dying when free food was being distributed. I think this is what Pakistan is. This is the truth of Pakistan which we have to encounter. Right. Now, like General KJ Singh said, let us say this is our viewpoint and a outside viewpoint and probably an international viewpoint. What is the internal viewpoint? We have to see that also when we assess Pakistan. This is a article which I saw today in Dawn. It's an old article, but it is very interesting. They also know that they have fault lines. And they say that the fault line in our stars, this is the heading of this article, in which, Maliha Lodi, who was one of the diplomats, retired diplomats, she has written, uh, she has written a article in which she has, in fact, in a book, she has listed out these six fault lines. Some of these fault lines, which General KJ Singh has said, are reflected in this, some are not. As per her, there are six mostly overlapping major ones that have shaped the political landscape and contributed to the country's chronic instability. The first, she says, is unstable civil military relations and the power imbalance between political and non political institutions, which General KJ Singh has spoken of in terms of the constitutional institutions which are there, the societal fault lines which have spawned unnecessary NGOs, and the religious fault lines which have spawned organizations like TLP. These are major issues. So there is a overlap in this. Then a political culture of clientelist politics. This is the divide between the, she talks of the divide between the elites and the non-elites. The people who are rich, both zamindars and, the pagaros and buttos and bizinjos and cars, and those masses, which is increasing by the day. So that has led to this. And then, of course, the reliance by the oligarchic elite on borrowed economic growth and overseas bailouts to address the country's chronic physical financial crisis and its resistance to reform. Right? Again, this goes with the fiscal fault line which General KJ Singh was talking of. And what she's added here is this resistance to reform. I think this resistance to reform in Pakistan is itself a fault line of its own, because they don't seem to be able to do any kind of reform. They have not been done right from the day one, which is very important to understand. Then the interplay between efforts to leverage geography in pursuit of national security and foreign policy goals, and the role and interests of outside powers. Very important fault line which they have, right? Uh, this is one of the problems which is a direct outflow of the army, way of thinking, and the continued military dictatorships which it has suffered through. And then, of course, the appeasement of the religious right and the tolerance of militant outfits, which again, General KJ Singh put across. You see, overall, Pakistan के अंदर फॉल्ट लाइंस जो है वो बतेरे हैं, सिर्फ वो नहीं है जो हमने बात किया या मालिया लोधी ने बात किया. ये फॉल्ट लाइंस एंडेमिक है पाकिस्तान के अंदर. इसीलिए अगर आप देखेंगे तो ये जो चित्र मैंने बनाया था, पाकिस्तान ये अपना इन द thumbnail is full of cracks, and these cracks will remain. The question remains, which I'll ask him before we go. Given all these fault lines which are endemic to Pakistan, why doesn't it break? Any country with so many fault lines should have broken by now. And that's what happened to countries like Czechoslovakia. That's what happened to a superpower like Russia. The fault lines of that system just broke these countries. I've given you a big superpower and a smaller country like Czechoslovakia, where today it is Czechia and Slovakia and things like that. Or I'm not going further back in time. Why do you think Pakistan doesn't break and will not break, or your view on it, sir? And then I'll take questions.
See, Pakistan is like what Maliha Lodi said. Pakistan is a very convenient tool which the big powers want because it is very pliable. Right from its inception, it joined the Cento bloc. It also became a willing tool for training of Mujahideens at behest of Americans. It also midwifed American relationship with Chinese. And currently it is a surrogate state of China. And it is somewhere also toyed with the idea of Sunni or Islamic bomb and Islamic, you know, ideological frontiers, all these things. So, given all this, various bigger powers see a lot of utility in Pakistan as a pliable kind of. It has a geographical advantage. Geography has put it at confluence of cultures. The Sinic culture, the Persian culture, the Indian culture, all these, the Pamir knot, the proximity of, all those cultures getting conflated at that point, Turkic culture and Arabic, Persian, Sinic, Indian. So Pakistan is placed there. It has got warm water port accessibility, which is great advantage to China. If China can operationalize the CPEC, the Makran coast, it has an overwatch over all the oil supply or petroleum supply routes, the pipelines, the cables which run for internet and all. So geographically, it's got a great advantage that is there. And the bigger powers see great value in keeping it propped up to their advantage. So occasionally you'll see Pakistan being manipulated by China and also by Americans. Both they are able to somehow. And Pakistan has played the balancing game quite well. You have to concede it. It is easier to do in Pakistan because the chain of command is very straight. American ambassador tells the Pakistani army chief and they do it. In India, it's very difficult to do because there is watch of parliament, there are NGOs, there are multiple voices. So India is a difficult state to handle for those parts. India has got a fetish with strategic autonomy or non-alignment, whatever way you call it. So India is a difficult customer. India can't be manipulated, but Pakistan
can be manipulated.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
They will like Pakistan.
Yeah, I think you put the whole thing across very well. So what we'll do is we'll take a few questions, but more than questions, today I see a lot of Pakistanis, on the show, and they have given out some of their views. Will not discuss their views because if we start discussing the views, we can keep going the whole night. So I'll just flash it out, and I'll read it out, and we understand them and go. Before I show, we'll see what their views are, right? And you will see one major thing which will come out is that most of the Pakistanis live in denial of their own problems, and that is what you're going to see coming out now.